Can you believe it? We're live. Can you believe it?
This is my first podcast without socks.
Dude, actually might be mine too.
Really?
I'm not wearing any socks, yeah.
We've
That's
had
funny.
so many weird synchronicities recently.
We have. It's the universe. She's in the stars.
Yeah. Here we go.
All right, so we're jumping into it.
Little drink review right off the bat. Thanks for
somebody
your
recommended
suggestions. Yeah, someone recommended this. This is a Harmless Harvest organic sparkling coconut water with added watermelon.
Wow.
She's a mouthful. Rare, I'm guessing.
Where'd you get it?
I got this from Target. My hopes aren't extremely high. Sparkling coconut water.
Dude, it was probably straight from a real coconut in the Caribbean.
Where's it from?
And a real watermelon just...
Thailand.
Wow.
Okay. Should I just go right into it?
Yeah, I want to see how this is.
Okay. Here we go. Cheers. Oh man. I'd love to have started off with a really good one. I got it. I gotta say, like 3 pumps out of 10.
Damn. What part is it? Is it the watermelon or the coconut? Like sparkling?
Hold on.
It grows on you?
5 pumps out of 10.
All right, that's pretty significant. Pump jump right there.
That was a big pump jump. You know, coconut water, it has a milky flavor to it.
Mm-hmm.
It's basically like coconut milk. Well, coconut milk's different, but it's just, I don't know. You know, coconut water, never been my favorite thing. I've had like a fresh cut open coconut in Costa Rica. That was incredible. Man, the sparkling, it's like sparkling milk is what it tastes like.
Isn't that that's a real thing, right?
Is
sparkling milk. Yeah,
Oh.
I think so. I think I've seen that. It's like in a can.
Yeah.
Never had it. But
You know, I'm never going to drink this ever again. And I think Tanner requested this one. He's been on the pod before. And I think he knew how it tasted.
Wow.
And because he told me about it and I was like, maybe I'll give, benefit of the doubt. Maybe it's better than he said. Nope. But
That's unfortunate.
But hey, I'm going to finish it.
Yeah, you have to now. And you'll be sipping it even when it's empty.
Oh yeah.
Because that's what we do on the pod.
Yeah, James. Great last episode.
Well, unfortunately, I wasn't able to, acquire one of the recommendations. But I did whip together a little concoction of herbs, hibiscus, peppermint. So it's not really that extreme, but we'll give her a go. I'd give that several pumps.
Really?
No, that's actually really good. I mean, it's just a normal thing, right? But that's like an 8.
Quite
8 out
the
of 10.
combo. Hibiscus peppermint, huh?
It's very good. I'm a big fan of peppermint, so
Yeah.
the hibiscus good. It's like the powder gives her a nice touch. So
Wow.
we'll be
I might have to
sipping
try
this.
that.
Yeah, and then I got my little iced coffee as well, double drink.
Is that a little haircut I spot as well?
She is. Gave her a trim.
Enjoy it.
So yeah, I looked up a couple things. I was like, it's just getting too nuts. I got to do it.
Yeah.
And it's crazy how much different you feel, like how much better you feel.
This also might be the first pod without a beanie.
It is. Yeah.
Wow.
I went back and forth and I was like,
What a special episode.
It really is. No socks, no beanie.
Yeah.
What a great episode. And I watched half the Goonies last night, so.
Ooh, yeah. What'd you think?
Yeah. I enjoyed it. I thought it was, I couldn't finish it. I was just not, it wasn't the movie. I just,
Yeah.
It was good. I was telling you this, like you think you have an idea of a movie and you just assume it is what you think it is. And that's kind of why I didn't watch it, because I thought it was a totally different movie my whole life. Turns out I was wrong. Yeah, it was good, dude. The acting and stuff back then was just so much different.
Yeah.
And better, like, maybe not better as in like realism, but just for comedy, it was just different. The writing is just, it's good.
Yeah, it's a wholesome like adventure film.
Yeah, classic.
It's I really enjoy it. And so that's your movie of the week then, or do you got something else?
I think that might have been the only movie I watched because I've just been watching shows.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll call it. Well, I didn't finish it though, so I don't know if I can say that.
Right, that's true.
I would say my movie of the week. What did I talk about last time?
I thought you mentioned Barbarian last time.
Oh, yeah, Barbarian. Barbie. I watched it. Not actual Barbie. Barbarian. I tried watching Barbie one time. I couldn't do her. Yeah. The musicals, man, I just have a hard time.
Yeah, musicals are tough. As people who are musicians, we probably dislike musicals the most.
I know.
Like.
Yeah, dude. Have you seen Sweeney Todd? Did we talk about that?
Yeah, the one with Johnny Depp.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
a good
great.
Musical.
That's great.
Yeah, dude.
Because it's like an emo musical.
Exactly, yeah. He's so good at playing like emo characters.
Oh, I know. Edward Scissorhands. Did
you see his new role? His new thing coming out? He's playing like a prince or a king, like in like Renaissance. Is it Renaissance? Like where they got the big wigs and all that. I mean, or is that a different time? Like, I don't know.
I think the wigs is more like 17. Well, no, I guess in England, because in like the early days of like the U.S., like they were still wearing them, like George Washington and Hamilton.
That's
and all
an
that.
odd thing, man.
I think it's more of like a British Empire thing. I don't know. I'm not sure. I think they've been repping wigs for a long time.
I saw bits of like the show called Bridgerton, which is like another one of those British, old timey shows. And the one character has, I think she's the queen. She has like an enormous wig. Like it's huge, super tall.
Oh yeah.
And I was kind of wondering if like, was that kind of like, I have the biggest wig in the room. Like that's like power kind of. Is that what it was? It's gotta be.
I'm pretty sure.
Biggest wig. Powdered
biggest
wigs,
wig
man.
Competition.
Yeah, so funny.
Different times,
Dude, me and Micah wrote an episode of Dake and Tyke. We never shot it, but it was called Mrs. Wig. And it was about a wig pageant. And it was like whoever had the biggest wig, and we had like a whole musical number, but we just never ended up shooting it.
That's
something about
funny.
Wigs. Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyways, I don't have a movie of the week.
No movie of the week.
It's sad. What about you?
So last night I watched Jeepers Creepers. Great flick. I've seen it multiple times, like as a kid. I would like watch it. I don't know if I told this story. Sorry. Moving this incense. But I used to like keep this little mini DVD player like near my bed at night, and I would just like watch DVDs every night before I would go to fall asleep. And Jeepers Creepers was in my rotation, which is kind of wild, honestly. But it's funny because I like when I watched it yesterday, I was like, I don't remember the second half of this film at all. So I think I probably was like too afraid, and I was like, nope, not watching it.
You blocked it out, yeah.
But I mean, I thought it was in like a regular rotation, but I don't think it was. I think I just like tried it one night. Actually, I don't know. It's cozy. It's like, it's got like that cozy, like early 2000s vibe to it. I really like it. Let's see. And then also I watched the Titan documentary on Netflix.
Oh, you know what? I did watch that.
What did you think of that?
Watch it. It was, it was pretty nuts.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, it's long, but it was interesting because you only hear bits and pieces of that story. Like, I thought it was cool how they had so much footage of the guy, Stockton Rush or whatever his name is.
It was crazy that it was like failing so much in the tests early on.
Yeah,
and
I know.
He didn't want to get it like registered for like a classified thing. I mean, I don't want to give away the documentary, but it basically just goes through like, them testing this new hull that no one's ever done, carbon fiber hull. It's always been like, like, I don't know, reinforced steel and crazy stuff. But yeah, it was interesting. It was really interesting. I recommend it. Good little watch.
Yeah, Netflix docs are always pretty solid. They do a great job with docs.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But yeah, have you seen the other Jeepers Creepers? The second?
I don't think so.
Third, I think there's either 3 or 4.
I don't think so.
Yeah. First one was the best though.
Okay.
Justin Long is so good in those movies, like those older movies. Just so funny. So funny.
Yeah, because he's like a comedic actor, isn't he?
I think so. But he does a lot of horror. He did one called Tusk. I don't know if you ever heard of that.
I don't know.
But it's this movie about, I think it's a Canadian-based one where he goes to see this, maybe you're like a super rich guy for something, and this guy basically just like kidnaps him and then like transforms him into a walrus. Like cuts his skin, like takes his arms off, like makes him a walrus.
Damn.
It's so disturbing, dude. Like really gross, like disturbing, but
have you
pretty
seen
bizarre.
Human Centipede? That's like the classic.
Oh, yeah, I have, dude. Not in a long time. That was like a fucked up movie.
Yeah.
Really
it's pretty messed up.
Have you seen it?
Just, yeah, it's one of those movies you like, when you're a kid, you're like, I gotta see this at least once. And then you're kind of like, it wasn't really worth it, but
I know, yeah.
But yeah, for movie wise, that's always been like the most forbidden flick of all time. Like Human Centipede, just grossest, worst concept ever.
Yeah.
For a movie, but
there's some other horror movies that are like were banned and stuff like that.
Yeah,
like Cannibal Holocaust and
yep, I've heard about
other
that
random
one.
ones like that.
I had a friend watch that recently, and he was just like, "Man, I'm just so like
it sounds
mad
gross,
that
dude.
I watched it."
Like that kind of stuff to me
terrible.
is just like it just doesn't do anything good for you. Like I don't want to watch that.
It's not. You have to be like a massive horror fan. You have to really love like the gruesome stuff.
Yeah,
I'm definitely more, like I said, I've said it before, like the art house style, just things that are like fantasy and kind of not only fantasy but like history related, more like psychological stuff. I really like that. So
yeah. You gonna rip Barbarian this week potentially?
I don't know. What's it about? I don't even know the plot. I was gonna look it up and then
you actually don't know the plot?
Absolutely not. I have no idea.
Okay, so it starts off. This girl checks into an Airbnb at night, and she finds that it's double booked. So there's another guy staying there.
Okay.
And then it goes into something like completely different.
Really?
Like halfway through. It's just like crazy. I don't know. I can't really say too much about it. Like it's better to go in and not know because it takes a massive turn that you would never expect. So.
Should I watch it tonight?
I would. Yeah, it's one of my favorite horrors. Like really good.
I didn't even know it was like one of your favorites. I thought it was just a random movie you watched.
No, it was fucking awesome, dude.
Okay,
and
I'm
Justin Long's in it too. So
2 nights in a row of Justin Long.
Yeah, he's great in it. It's really I would highly recommend.
Nice,
massively.
Dude.
So.
Yep. That's awesome.
Yep.
Yeah, dude, I was at the Disc Golf Pro Tour this weekend.
I saw the giant rubber duck. I thought it was pretty funny.
Giant rubber duck. It's the world's largest rubber duck.
That's amazing.
So it's kind of like, right off the bucket list.
It's like, we're going to make the world's largest rubber duck. It's just something someone wanted to do.
Just massive blow up duck. And then the Red Bull truck was there. It's like this really cool, it almost looks like a Lamborghini Urus. Like it's just I don't know, it looks like a military like SUV type thing. It's really cool. And I don't know, just tons of great players. Like it's always such a fun event because you're just outside, you're like in nature, like in the middle of the woods with like 200 people spectating disc golf, and everyone that watches disc golf plays disc golf. So it's not really like football or a lot of sports where no one's playing it that's watching it, only high school and college people. It's like everyone plays it that watches it. So we're all like super fans of disc golf. And I don't know, everyone's just so supportive of like every single player. Like no matter what, when someone does good, it doesn't matter who they are, everyone freaks out. Everyone's like, this is amazing. Like everyone's rooting for everyone, which is kind of cool.
That sounds awesome. Yeah.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Really enjoyed it. It was at the Preserve, Minnesota. Yeah, and actually one of the players sponsored this tournament, which was like the first time ever that an individual player sponsored it, just because like he has like a massive YouTube following. So he's like, I want to, give back to the community and stuff, which is cool.
Nice.
But yeah, fun little tournament.
Yeah, it sounds fun. I haven't watched a sports game and I don't even know.
Not a sportsman?
I don't know, dude. It's just never piqued my interest. It's I mean, I get like disc golf and stuff like that. It's something you love, like, but just sports in general, I don't know. It's weird to me just how into it people get.
Right.
with teams and all that. Like I don't understand that part of it, I guess.
I think it's a very primal thing, you know.
It must be. It's got to be. Yeah.
Competition is a massive release of like dopamine and I love competition. Like I always loved competing in school, and track and field day was like my favorite thing. But I guess like, I don't know. It's usually the people who have like a proclivity towards it, like actually winning in sports and like excelling, that like really like it. Because it sucks if like you're in, like you try out for sports and you don't have a good time because either like you're not as into it as some people, and you just, I don't know. I feel like you have to get this like adrenaline rush, this dopamine release of like, oh, I won this thing. And then you're like, oh, this is a thrill, you know? And it's like a physical activity. I don't know. I've always enjoyed it, but
yeah. My only memories really of track and field in general, like so I went to a Christian school. I think everyone probably knows that. Like talked about it for grade 1 to 8 or kindergarten to grade 8. And it was like a primarily like kind of, there's a lot of like Dutch Christians in where I grew up. So the school is more like predominantly like Dutch families, like not straight like with an accent, but you know what I mean? Like they had like a Dutch church everyone went to. So I was like one of maybe a few families that weren't really like that. But dude, there was I don't want to like, you know, it was a great school, but there was a lot of favoring kind of. So it was like the same people would win medals for even it, like regardless of, you know. So I just always knew I would never get medals. Like even for art stuff, it was like the same couple people that would win it, and I never won any kind of award for anything ever.
That's
like
crazy.
And it was just biased, dude. I remember one time that one of the staff there, I'm not going to say who, but he made a comment to me about it. He's like, well, you know what they say, you ain't Dutch, you ain't much. And I was like, oh, dang. That's, you know, as a, you know, 10-year-old, that's great to hear, right?
Yeah, it happens. It happens at elementary school, like middle school, totally high school. It's crazy because these parents, a lot of these people who are involved with sports, and it's like they get really wrapped up in the community, and maybe they're friends with other parents too. Like we didn't have like that type of thing, but there's definitely times. I mean, my senior year of football, it kind of felt like that because there's like a defensive award for like the best defensive player that year. And it's funny because objectively, so you get stars on your helmet. You get 1 star for each like thing you accomplish. If you get a sack, if you get like 10 tackles in a game, it's like there's all these things that you have to do. And if you achieve one of those things, it's like you get a star during the game. So I literally had, I think, twice as many stars as the next person on my football team, but I didn't win the defensive player of the year, which objectively makes no sense, just because I feel like it was like political. Like I was like, I feel like it was like, yeah, we like I know this, like the coach kind of knew the kid who he gave it to for years and years, and like it was just kind of one of those things. I mean, also I missed a couple like practices and he hated me for that, but I don't know, it's just like weird political stuff. It's like it's literally like high school sports. It's so weird when people are like, I don't know. If they have to choose between two people, if they have to choose between 2 people to play or 1 to bench, the coach that's friends with one of the kid's parents is always going to choose to put their kid in, you know? It's weird.
And how much of that is in everything, probably, really?
Right.
Most stuff, right?
Well, it's like nepotism in the industry, like music and film industry, we see it all the time.
Yeah, I think that's part of the thing that, you know, is hard for people. Like, it's not just like how good are you? It's not just, you know, so much of everything is who do you know, and how, like, it doesn't just work the way people think. And that's one thing, you know, like I've said this, but like with music, I had a hard time like networking and you know, making connections, because it's just hard for me. It was never something I really had in my mind, but I can see how that's like a big part of it, you know.
Totally.
Maybe not all of it, maybe not in the scene that I was in, but yeah, it's a thing for sure.
Well, yeah, I was at this like Hollywood networking party one night, and I talked to a guy he was an intern at Universal Music Group, and I told him, I was like, oh, that's awesome. You know, I applied for that internship like 100 times. And he's like, oh yeah. He's like, yeah, he's like, that's pretty hard to get, you know? And I was like, well, how'd you go about getting it? And he's like, not gonna lie to you, like my uncle, you know, he works there, and I'm like, oh shit, okay. And he literally told me, he's like, yeah, man, that's pretty much how it goes. Like, he's like, good luck. Like, unless you know somebody who works there, there's no way you're getting picked because there's 10,000 applicants. Like, you're not getting sifted through. Like, they're definitely picking people that they know some way, shape, or form, you know?
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, well, whatever. I mean, it doesn't matter. It's not like that was like a big deal, but I don't know. It would have been nice to get an internship there. It's like, I applied to like hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of internships in LA. It's a lot of that, but once in a while, it's always good though. I feel like interning at like a small little company that doesn't care about that, you're probably going to get a better experience than working at some massive corporation where they're just like, get coffee, go through like the most basic stuff, and then we'll run you through the mill, go to the next intern. You know, it's like,
yeah,
I don't know. But yeah, it happens. But I don't know, if you're undeniable, I feel like that's the best case.
Yeah, and I think too, it's like, that's part of why you have to kind of build your own thing. Because that, in a way, it's like when you know, like it just gives you leverage. Like if you're doing your own thing and you don't need other people necessarily for stuff, it can just help. You know?
Just like the filmmaking.
Yeah, just instead of waiting around like for people to give you opportunities and stuff. And yeah.
Once you're ready and like able, like once you're as good as it takes to be extremely successful, like people are like, it's almost like undeniable that you're gonna get people's attention. Like,
yeah,
whether it be other musicians or filmmakers or other people, it's kind of undeniable. It's like people will just reach out to you and be like, holy shit, like your art is incredible. Let's work together. Like, you know, it happens.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it does.
And like, I used to do that whole thing of like, oh, I got to message all the industry people and like, I got to like submit my demo to the labels and like all these artists. And literally whenever I've done that, it really didn't do anything. It's just been like people messaging me being like, wow, I found your song on Spotify. And it's someone like I look up to, right? And I'm like, holy shit, that's amazing. And then they're like, oh, you want to work together on something? And
yeah,
I don't know. It's just, that's the best way to do it.
I remember my thing was always like, I always felt like anytime I went to see a concert or anything when I was younger, like I always had to bring a CD of my music and like, I'm going to give it to them and something's going to happen. And I, you know, that's what you think. But I remember like at one point I was like kind of on the other side of that and people were bringing me CDs of their stuff. Mm-hmm. And I just had the realization, it's like, it's not that you don't care, but it's like, it just, nothing's really, you know, going to come of that. Right. Like you just think it's totally different. Same with like just cold reaching out and sending a link to a song or something. Not that it can't do anything.
I just did that last night.
Yeah. I mean, you never know. Right. But it's just funny, like the perspective change.
Right.
Because when you're young, it's like you think, you just think so differently. It's like someone's going to just find me and discover me, which can happen. Right. But I don't know.
But
it's funny.
Most of the time when someone discovers you, they're like, how can I make money off this person, you know?
Yeah.
Not saying every time, but it's like labels. What they do now is they go on TikTok and they're like, who's killing it with marketing? That's someone that we can reliably, you know, say that they will earn income on music because they reliably know how to market themselves. How do we get a piece of that? That's all their goal is. They sign as many artists as physically possible now from social media, and then they don't do anything. They do literally nothing for the artist. And I've heard this from so many people. And
you hear it all
just
the
like,
time.
hey, you want a couple $100,000? Like, here's a couple $100,000. And it's like, that's the last fucking royalties you will ever see, you know, if you do it that way. You know, obviously there's other ways of doing that. You can get advances and then pay it back a smart way. But yeah, it's just like, that's the only money you're going to get probably for the next 5-10 years, which is like, why would you do that? You know,
did you listen to the Oliver Anthony episode?
I did not.
Yeah. I was listening to that last night. Like, you know who he is.
Yeah, I know who he is.
The guy that had
blew
that
up.
What is it? Richmond, North of Richmond song, like that working man type song. And he just blew up. And he was like talking about, he was just kind of saying, he's like, yeah, dude, like I still own all my music. Like I didn't do any stupid deals. And he's like, I had the opportunity to work with a big, massive publishing company. I forget who it was, but he said like they immediately wanted to, you know, like they wouldn't let me do they didn't want me to do what I was doing, and like they started to try to strip away my identity, and I was like, well, I'm not going to do that, because like what you do is the reason you're there. And that's always been something that's odd to me, is that that's immediately what labels and people want to do. It's like, okay, here, let's do something totally different and like just shape you. And it's like, well, that's not why people, like you in the first place.
Let's delete your catalog, and then we'll release all your music on one album that you've put out so far. I've had that. And I'm like, yeah, no thanks. No thanks.
It's bizarre, dude. It's like just, I don't know. It's like you see the reason someone's successful is because they clearly knew what they were doing. So let them just keep doing that and give support, right? Which some labels do, and it's awesome. But yeah, it's strange mentality. But
yeah, you just can't chase that instant gratification. I mean, I always get emails from people like, "Hey, sign up with our distribution, and we'll give you like $10,000." It's like, no, like I don't care. Like, why would I care about that? Like, I would much rather just make the money that I'm making from it myself. And there's certain situations where maybe it's okay, but yeah, it's always you always just got to be smart. But I think a lot of people realize that too. There's a lot of independent artists that don't fall for it. And I think if you get like offered a label deal, you should just be like, wow, that was so cool. Like I did it. That was my dream. Don't accept it, but be like, I did that, unless it's an amazing thing or whatever.
Yeah. And sometimes it can genuinely help.
Oh, totally.
But I just think now at this point, there's just, everyone's trying to sign everyone and do distro deals and all that. And
pretty much the only thing I would want from a label is like, can you help set up like festivals? Like, can you do festivals and like, help get on tours? Like, I feel like that's like the main thing. But I don't know, isn't that mainly just booking agents anyways? But
yeah, a lot of it's booking agents. But obviously,
which you could just do.
Labels will, get you a booking agent sometimes.
That's
like
true,
provide. Yeah. That's kind of what happened with Dave Shapiro. Yeah. When I signed Epitaph, they hooked me up with him. I think that's how it went. But
which he's got like the best connections ever too. So that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, he did so many bands. But that's the thing. It's like sometimes when you sign with a big company for anything, you just become a small fish, right?
Yeah.
Big pond, as they say. So
yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, man.
Where can we take it from here, boys? It's funny, when we do the podcast, I'm always like, okay, this is going to run out soon. I'm trying to think of what's the next thing we can talk about. It's funny.
Well, the new EP, I released my new EP last week. Talked about it a little bit at the end of the episode. Just 5 songs that I really liked from the last couple of years. I wanted to put them together on like one coherent project. And yeah, it's good. Like streams went up massively from just normal. So it's like, it's worth doing stuff like that. And I don't know, I just like want to have it on a CD for people to buy. We'll have those out probably in like a month or so. People can buy them on the shop. And then dropping a new merch line soon. So yeah, just going through that, trying to get back into the content game with music. That's a tough one. It's a massive undertaking for me, because I don't want to do it, but I'm like,
this is content,
It is.
Deeper content.
Like the music content, like,
Yeah.
Lip syncing. Yeah, no. It'll be good.
Did your hoodies, they didn't get there?
No. Unless they're in the mailbox.
Pod merch. They could be.
How big of a box was it?
This was like 300-pound box. No, it's just a little package.
Oh,
like a 20 by 11 or something.
Usually they drop it off at the door.
Let me have a quick peek. Let me just have a quick look at the old tracking. Oh no. There may be a delay.
Oh, they're lost.
Yeah, well, it's in Minneapolis, so that's good. Probably come tomorrow.
That's solid.
When you don't see that out for delivery, though,
Yeah, it's a rough one.
Yeah. That's grease. I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
Still my favorite line from the podcast.
Oh, yeah.
This is an interesting thing I'm doing. I'll tell you that.
That's still one of the funniest stories, that wife beater filming, wearing the wife beater with underwear on, whitey tighties, filming while you're in the dog cage. It's just, it does not get any better than that, to be honest.
It really doesn't. How could it?
Just make a movie about making that movie.
Yeah, it deserves it. It deserves it.
Yeah. I finished her.
Wow. Wow.
5.5 pumps.
It just keeps going up a little.
Yeah.
Nice.
Give it a 4.5.
That's our measurement system for everything now.
Yeah.
Pumps.
I like it. It's a good measuring system.
Where's that little note? Yeah, is there anything on there?
Not for you.
No, not for you. For me. A
No.
shared note for the pod. Maybe something will spark my,
Oh, there's a new UFO video out. A little saucer flying around in the
a
clouds.
saucer.
When I say new UFO video, I mean like a military drop, not just like a random. Was it FLIR footage or something? Jeremy Corbell shared it. He's probably one of like the most comprehensive like researchers who's connected with like actual military people and whistleblowers, and he's helped a lot like with disclosure and stuff. But yeah, he put out a new video. I think it's like a FLIR. It's like it shows like a flying saucer in the clouds, kind of. I mean, it's a disc. I don't know what it is. Could be a UFO.
Dude, it's just a really good disc golf throw.
Oh yeah, dude.
That's
just
all it was.
A massive drive. Yeah. Oh, well, this isn't really like a fun topic to talk about, but I freaking ripped my intercostal muscle on my rib cage.
You ripped it?
I'm just assuming.
You think.
Right in between the ribs, there's these muscles. They're called like intercostal muscles. And I was leg pressing 667 pounds. That doesn't mean it was actually 667 pounds because it's at a 45-degree angle. It's called a 45-degree leg press. So if you actually do the math, like it'd be the equivalent of back squatting, maybe like, I don't know, 300 something for reps, like 350 for reps maybe. And I was doing like 8 reps. And on the 7th rep, like my legs came into my chest because that's how it works. Like you're pushing up at an angle. And I just felt like a pop in my rib cage. And I was just like, oh. And dude, did not feel great. So now it's like anytime I twist, it like kind of hurts. And if I bend over, it hurts. So no disc golf for the past week and a half. And it's been brutal.
Yeah. Dang, man.
Sucks, but it'll happen. It's like your foot.
Yeah.
We were talking about injuries and I was like, I haven't had an injury in forever. And then literally just hurt myself right week after.
The universe heard you.
Mm-hmm.
Said, here you go.
Spoke too soon. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
What do you do?
I'm fairly healed now. I still have to crack my finger back in place every now and then. Like it doesn't hurt, but
building that pit.
No, it was when I punched the boxing thing.
Oh, that's right.
Crunched my finger, but it's all right.
That's funny.
Yeah.
I mean, not funny, but
yeah, that's kind of
so
funny.
You just it was like that boxing dummy or whatever.
No, it was like the Cobra bag, the thing that like comes back at you. I tried to like grab it and stop it, and it just like, I don't know, like what do you call that? Like compressed my finger in.
Yeah, basically.
Kind of. It's happened before.
That's wild.
Yeah, man. Yeah, the human body's wild, dude. We're just, I don't know, we're basically just robots. Like I was talking with the old AI, grandfather AI, and I was just about sleep, because I randomly got interested in that a little bit, and it was like, yeah. So when there's a little, even because last night I told you I like covered all the tiny lights, like chargers and stuff like that, made the room pitch black, slept like a fucking rock, and it was just like, yeah, even when your eyelids are closed, like your mind still registers that there's light and sends these signals. And I'm like, we're literally robots, like programmed robots. There's all these, like, what do you call that? Like processes going on, just constant. It's just crazy, dude. Bizarre.
The original robot, human.
yeah, basically, man. I mean, we're not really. How are we any different? But then that goes back to like, well, a robot as we see it is based on, how we see things, right? So you can't trust it. Same with like creating a simulated reality, with all that stuff. So yeah, it's strange.
So, but the sleep's been good after that, huh?
Dude, it was the first time in like, dude, maybe years. I don't know. Like I woke up and I just did not feel like insanely tired. Like the vitamins helped a lot. Yeah. But it was just a different, like I felt rested kind of, So I think that was a large part of it. Just pitch black room, because it's never been that way.
Yeah, I got Blackout Curtains a few years back, and yeah, it's just like an insane difference because the yard lights and stuff, depending where you live, it's like, yeah, it just makes such a difference. And I got a sunrise alarm. We were talking about that a little bit, and that's huge because then you wake up to light because your eyes are so sensitive. Like even when they're closed, like you said, if you have like a power strip and there's like a light on the power strip, that little bit of blue light will just seep into your eyes while you're sleeping, and just like it won't, it'll prevent you from pushing into like that deepest REM sleep.
Yeah, dude, I had a power strip right beside my bed too.
That's
wild. A little light on there.
What'd you put to cover it? I usually go
duct
like a
tape,
sticky
boys.
note. Oh, duct tape. That's good. That's
dude,
solid.
you know what's funny? I did not realize that until I got this yesterday that it's actually duct tape. I thought it was DUCT, like duct tape.
It totally is DUCT, isn't it?
This brand is literally duct tape, and there's a little duck on it with a hard hat. So
really?
I don't know. Maybe
that must just be the
original
brand, though. That must just be the brand.
It could be one of those things where it's like Kleenex. You just call like any bath tissue Kleenex, right?
I gotta look this up. There's no way,
dude.
I swear,
Mandela effect right there.
Duct tape.
The little duck with a hard hat.
What?
Yeah.
Well, okay. Well, at uline.com, it does say DUCT. Oh, but then there's the original duct tape brand.
Okay.
The original duct tape brand, duct with a T, tape, but the first word is okay. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Dude, chapstick, same thing. I wonder what what do you call that? Like that or
lip
something.
balm.
Well, no, I meant like what do you call when like an item basically gets labeled because of a brand?
Yeah, there's some name for it. There's a lot of them that like you don't know they're actually not called. Like even a dumpster, it's not what it is. That's a brand. Yeah. Yeah, there's
Kleenex, chapstick.
Did you see a documentary that was like about shopping and all that? Pretty recent on Netflix.
I don't think so.
I can't remember what it was called. It was the two guys were on Rogan recently talking about it. But anyways, yeah, they went through all the brands and they were saying too how like there's like Great Value, like that brand. It's actually owned by like the name brands, and they just have like an off brand, but it's the same product, and they just label it cheaper.
Oh, I thought that was like owned by like Walmart or whatever, like Great Value.
Maybe it's not actually that Great Value brand, but those brands that are like the off brand,
a lot of
right?
the off brands. Interesting.
Isn't that an interesting thing, dude? Is like they make these like cheap, accessible brands, and everything switches to that, like Better Goods. I don't know if you've seen that kind of stuff, and then
Up and Up. Good.
It's so bizarre how packaging and labels like. We automatically assume stuff about just by It's
like designer clothes. Like if the quality of the designer clothes is the exact same, but one is like a heritage brand that's been around for like years, but one was just started by some guy in his basement, but it's the same quality, same materials. Like there's no way you're going to buy the guy in his basement's brand versus like the old heritage brand. And it is weird. It's weird because technically it's nothing different. But it's like we associate certain things with branding, and it's like it's actually a pretty deceptive thing, but we do it to ourselves. You know what I mean? It's like
100%, dude.
It's if a watch brand has a history, but it's the same watch as some guy who just started one 20 years ago versus 100 years ago, you want the one from 100 years ago because it has like a story behind it. I think that's part of it.
Yeah.
But when it comes to food and stuff, that's a little different, obviously, but
yeah,
it's interesting. Yeah,
it really is. And it's weird. It's one thing when I kind of learned about drop shipping like way back in the day, and now you see it everywhere where it's like, even on Amazon, you see the same product, but it's like $100 more on a different listing. But and then you research it more and you see it's like on drop shipping sites and it comes straight from overseas and you can get it for like $10, right? Like, yeah, people, I don't know how many people are actually aware of all that. Like you see,
I don't think
like,
a lot.
You take an item that you just find on like AliExpress or a Chinese supplier website, you build a brand around it, like make it look fancy and like, build a website around it, and then people order it for, I don't know, $100, let's say. It's like a nice jacket or something. And the person's just it's coming straight from the factory.
Right.
Maybe they're paying like $10 for it. Like that's how a lot of it works,
I used to have a drop shipping company back in the day. I mean, I did it because I was like, this is like when it first kind of like became a thing where people were like teaching classes on how to do it and all this. For me personally, I just like couldn't, with a good conscience, like I couldn't be like, oh, I'm going to sell you something that you could buy for cheaper and it's the exact same product. And I'm not even like doing anything. Like I'm not even really shipping the product. Personally, I couldn't do that. I was like I get that's what Target and Walmart and stuff does, but they also buy in like bulk from directly like the retail. It's a little bit different, you know, than actual drop shipping. Yeah. I couldn't do it, you know, with a good conscience. And I don't know. I feel like when it comes to making money, like you want to feel good about what you're doing too. Like you can't
care about it at least a bit. Like,
yeah. And how can you care about that? Because it's not even your products. I mean, look, some people are successful with it. That's great. You know, do what you want to do. But people should be aware, like that's a thing. And if you buy something from a brand, like good chance it's, you know, maybe a drop shipped thing. And
oh yeah, 100%.
I don't know. Do your own research. And
that's the one thing I kind of hate being so aware of it, because like when I go into places like Target or Walmart, you know, it's like you see these things being sold for these high prices, and you know, it's like this is just like a cheaply made product that costs a couple bucks, and everyone's tricked into like psychologically thinking like, oh, this is a really good thing. Sometimes they are, but like it's this weird trick kind of, you know?
Right.
Like, which is just how it works, obviously, but it's just, I don't know. Like Walmart, dude, it's just like giant drop shipping hub, basically.
Well, I mean, they do have the product there for you, though, technically.
No, they do, yeah, but I mean...
Right.
So, yeah, I don't know. It's a weird thing.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't know. I guess some of that stuff, like some of those suppliers and, you know, wholesalers, like they don't actually just sell it, but sometimes you can just buy that same stuff for cheaper. But I will say, like, if you look at a lot of stuff like this AliExpress, Alibaba stuff, and you look at what Target's selling stuff for, I mean, usually those big brands are usually able to, like, they get a big discount buying it too. So it's like, I don't know, it usually ends up being somewhat similar price, and they're kind of just conveniently having it right in front of you. So, but I totally know what you mean. It does make it tough. Like, I don't know, just going to those like hippie new age stores. It's like, I love a lot of that stuff, but a lot of that stuff is just extremely, you know, cheap overseas products. But I don't know. It's like,
but we love it. Humans love it, dude. We love it. We love.
Oh yeah, like you go to like a gift shop, like a gift shop in like some country, and it's just like all the same stuff. Yeah. Like just branded that thing. But I guess it's because you want it to be attached to an experience. And I think that's part of the branding thing, is you're attaching it to the experience of like having an exchange with that particular brand. It's very interesting. And I think that's what watches, you know, I like recently bought my first Swiss, like, I guess I wouldn't call it a Swiss luxury watch, but it is a Swiss watch, which is, you know, it's a higher end watch. And I don't know, it's like one of those watches where it was one of those brands that hasn't necessarily been around forever. It's the brand's name is Frédéric Constant. It's like a French Swiss brand, and it's like this beautiful perpetual calendar, you know, but it's like a quartz movement. And that, the thing about that watch is like you couldn't buy a cheaper version of that watch that looks the same and does the same things. Like you can't have a watch with a moon phase, the days of the week, the month, the week of the year, every single thing possible. Like that's not even physically possible to buy that watch for like cheaper, basically. So that is kind of an example of like you're not paying for the brand, you're actually paying for the product in a sense. So I think, yeah, it's, you know, it's like a lot of designer goods. You could get a bag with I think even China was doing this during like the tariff thing, where they're like, hey, you want some Louis Vuitton, Balenciaga, whatever, like we'll just give you exactly what they're selling to you because we make it. We'll just ship you the products. It won't have the brand name on it, but it'll be the same thing. I think they were selling like Hermes bags for like $1,200. And I'm pretty sure Hermes bags, like some of them go like 20, 30 grand. Like that's one of the most expensive designer brands out there, Hermes. And yeah, like the factories in China were like, hey, we'll just ship it to you for $1,400. Just like, I think you had to like go there or like do something special, but it's just interesting. But it's like, I guarantee you people would rather not do that. They would rather not buy the thing that's way cheaper, even though it's the same thing. They want the branding on there. I mean, I've bought in plenty of stuff like that too, but
yeah, and there's a weird like psychological trust as well. Like you need to have trust with a brand. And that's one thing that, there's so many little tricks that brands and people do like on their websites that just make you trust them. Like even those little badges, like secure payment and stuff, like unless you're aware of it, then anybody can do that, right? But stuff like that, I don't know. But I don't know. How do you feel about like pop-ups? Because I find so many sites have that little wheel that comes up and it's like 20% off or like spin again. To me, that makes me just want to leave immediately.
Interesting.
Personally,
well, I have a pop-up for like the email list. I guess.
So do I. I have the text.
We
one.
both have, but the wheels and stuff like the Temu shit.
Oh, that one is brutal. It's like brutal. Animations and videos that you can't.
I've literally the only reason I ever went on there was because I was trying to get an insane amount of feathers for a music video, and they had like insane amount of feathers that I could buy. I didn't buy them, but. That's like, I can't. I mean, if you're younger, you're like a kid. Like, I think you're more okay with buying stuff like that. But when you get older too, like, you just know something's going to be absolute horrible quality. Like the whole like wish.com, same thing. I mean, I bought some stuff on wish.com when it came out. And actually there is some good stuff, but it's usually the stuff that's a little more expensive.
Dude, so I would say 30% of the Farlight props are from Temu. So
really?
I guess I gotta. There's some good stuff on there. Like a lot of the outfit stuff, like random. Yeah.
Well, I mean, when it's stuff that normally is extremely expensive too, like, I mean, that can be an advantage because it's not like it's necessarily just horrible quality.
No,
like, it's just like Amazon, or AliExpress. There's stuff on AliExpress that's extremely expensive.
Like,
there's probably stuff on Temu that's expensive. So it's like, as long as it works for the purpose, like when it comes to set design, you would rather have a wooden chest that looks like a real chest but is hollow and like is completely because so you can just haul it around. It costs less, but you know what I mean. It's like you have to be efficient with stuff when it comes to like sets and all that.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, most of my music video props are on Amazon. It's all Amazon.
Yeah, 100%, dude. Yeah, Amazon's. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, but wardrobe. I do think for wardrobe sometimes it like depends what you're doing. If you're filming a period film, you don't want to be buying Amazon wardrobe. You got to actually make it. Like you have to it has to look the texture. It's got to be linen. It's got to look right. So
plastic
there's certain times.
Mail.
Yeah, plastic chainmail. That's funny. But anyways, I don't know.
It's a wild thing, dude. Amazon's. I sometimes wonder when I drive past, certain businesses, I'm like a light store. I'm like, how do you stay in business? Like, because my first thought with anything ever now is like Amazon.
Everyone thinks that.
Everybody, unless you need it right away. But even then, it's like you get it tomorrow. It's
actually sad too, because it's like you want your local community shops to like stay open and you want to support them, but it's so difficult because it's like you also are trying to look out for yourself. So getting the cheapest thing. It's like, well, that's looking out for myself, but I don't know. I mean, there's definitely, I think the stores that stay open now are like stuff you can't get on Amazon, like thrift shops and antique stores. And, like, especially if it's stuff like you're visiting a town and it's their town's things, you want to buy it from them, You're not just going to print it yourself. It doesn't feel like, just think of that. Like you could, go in a gift shop if you're in Mexico, you could buy a magnet that's Mexico, whatever city you're in, or you could just like custom make one yourself, but you would never do that because that's not associated with the thing.
Yeah, exactly.
So there's a lot of weird psychological, we attach a lot of meaning and stories and purpose behind like our purchases. And so I think that's how the small shops are going to stay in business, but it does suck. Like you said, like, if you sell like one particular thing, it's like the only way to like compete and like stay alive is like charge like a decent amount for your stuff. But it's like, it's so hard.
Dude. Yeah.
Who's going to want to buy that,
Yeah. That's a thing with like doing Anxious Ghost, like the clothing. I think people get it though. It's like, I was like figuring out how much am I going to charge for hoodies and stuff. But I think people, if they know it's like where it's coming from, like how it's being made and stuff, like that's different, right? It's like that can kind of justify Like, and same with like your merch too. It's like when you know it's like just personal and someone's making it, it's just different. Yeah, building a brand is
People don't realize like if they buy a hoodie for like $60, they think, oh man, like you're getting $60. It's like, no. Like you're like the person that you bought it for, $60 is gonna get like, like whatever, like you have to take away the cost for them to like get the garments, get the machinery, get all of the printing stuff, like whatever the labor and the time that goes into it. It's like, it's kind of funny because like, you get a wholesale license if you're someone like us and get maybe a piece of merch for a good price. Like it's not too expensive, but the labor and the time and the shipping costs and just how much that goes into it, and then taxes that you have to pay on your profits. Like, a $60 hoodie can end up maybe like it potentially yielding like $15-$20 maybe for the person, just based after everything. Like the time and energy, it's like, so you think about it, it's like you're only really given like a certain amount to that person. And so that's why, when people get upset about like high prices, like artists charging a lot for merch, it's like, you got to realize like it costs a lot of money and a lot of time to like do it. Yeah. I've met people at shows that have told me like they were kind of like looked down on me because I was charging like $70 for my glow in the dark skeleton hoodie. And he was like, man, like I don't even make profit on my merch. I just like sell it for the people. And I'm like, well, that's great. But also like, how are you living? Like, how do you even breathe? Like, what do you eat? Like, are you just getting like a government check or something? Cause I'm not like, I literally have to survive, So it's like, and it's like the glow in the dark material is so expensive. Like the hoodie's expensive, the labor, it's like you screw one up. And then you're like, oh, now I have to make a new one. I just lost that entire thing. And then you're barely breaking even still. So I don't know. I guess for it's like small shops, small brands, small artists. It's like you got to give them a little bit of leeway when they're charging a lot because they're barely scraping by anyways after it's all said and done. So
yeah. And I don't think like that whole mindset of like merch is just like, oh, we don't make any profit. It's not really better for anybody in that sense, in my opinion, because like, I think people, I don't know, dude, like the more you put into something, it's just like the better it's going to be for people. And I don't get that mindset, dude. Like the whole hustling, we just want to stay broke type of musician mindset. Like, I don't know, not to go on about that. It's not
sustainable.
It's just like, it's not necessarily better either. Like you don't have to do it that way,
No, and it's like some people all their proceeds to their merch will like go to a charity. And like, that's cool. That's like amazing. But also it's like a lot of those artists too are like signed and they have like, they get these massive advances so they can get by without that stuff. And it's like, I don't know. It's, I think it's just like whenever you buy something, it's just like, you got to understand especially if it's not from a massive corporation, like, there's a reason things cost the way they do, and it's not greed at all. It's not even slightly greed. It's just purely like, it's the way it goes,
Yeah, I think like some of the bigger corporations,
for
greed
sure,
is a factor. But like,
for sure.
Yeah, for like the smaller stuff, it's really just necessary. But yeah, speaking of that, I'm gonna open up the Say We Can Fly merch shop again soon, but it's gonna be really limited. I just want to have something up. Just, a couple CDs, couple hoodies, tees. So
nice.
Working on that. It's only going to be like 6.
My dad will be very appreciative.
Yeah, your dad is always commenting, dude. I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah, got some cool new stuff, but I'm not really going to be focusing on that. It's just been shut down for a long time, so toss her up, It
was funny. My dad, there's a family member visiting, really nice guy. And my dad was like, yeah, Dustin started a podcast. His friend Braden. And then he's like, yeah, Braden's got pretty good music. Here, check it out. And he pulled up the Here's My Heart video.
That's funny.
It's just two people with panda heads on. And the guy was kind of like, interesting. That's funny, it's out of context.
Oh, I love that. That's so
and I'm
funny.
just sitting there, I'm like, he probably thinks you're like a furry or something. This is like the only thing he's ever seen by you.
That's awesome. I love that. Yeah, your dad's funny, dude.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
No.
The pod.
Yeah, the old pod.
Yeah. I'm noticing it, dude. Like, it's really helped me so much, man. Nuts. A nuts amount. Really.
It's like therapy.
It is. And I think, like, I don't know, just getting so comfortable with hearing yourself and seeing yourself talk, it's just...
Yeah.
It's just nuts, is what it is. Like, I don't know. I was rehearsing lines today for our next shoot, and it's just no problem anymore. Like, I don't give a shit. Like, I mean, you know, self-conscious is still there for different reasons sometimes, but just in general, I just don't give as much of a darn. It's nice.
Yeah. No, I think we talked about it, but it's a big thing with art is like the less you give a shit about anything, like the more unattached you are, like it just everything flows better, you know? Like there's a lot of cool personalities out there, like Post Malone, one of the, like everyone loves Post Malone. It's like, well, why? Literally he has like the most carefree attitude. Like you see him talk on an interview, he's just chilling. Like he's someone you want to hang out with, talk to. But I guess like the point of saying that is like there's a lot to be said about that type of mentality as an artist. And sometimes like extreme intensity can be good, but I don't know. It's just like you got to open the mind up and just be like carefree, and things just flow so much better. And we talk about the rehearsals. You know, it's like whenever you just don't care, the lines read like butter, you know?
Like butter.
Like butter.
Yep. Smooth homemade
margarine if you're vegan, but
margarine, dude. Wild.
A lot of seed oils though. It's the only problem.
A lot of seed oils.
Yeah, I did experiment with some grass-fed butter for a little bit instead of like a vegan, but I don't really even use it on stuff anyways. Like I try to stay away from bread because I'm cutting a little bit of weight right now and stuff. So, but I didn't mind the grass-fed butter, you know?
Yeah, grass-fed.
At least it doesn't involve like, you know, murdering the animal. But not to get into that, or it doesn't matter. Obviously, I'm not like an extremist when it comes to being a vegan, but you know, I don't want to kill something for the food if I don't need to. Like if I need to, I'll do it. But yeah, I feel like grass-fed butter, it's like it's not super bad, you know? It's like it's just dairy and stuff, but yeah, I don't know. Better vitamin wise than seed oil butter.
Yeah, for sure.
There's no
seed
nutrients
oils
in those.
Yeah, I
can
really
be rough
try
on
to.
you.
Yeah, man, I really try to not have seed oils now. It's one of those things like I heard about it for a long time and I never really like took it serious. But then I cut most of that out, and it really made a big difference. Like I mean, there's always lots of factors, but yeah, I think they fuck with you for sure.
Yeah, like canola, soybean oil.
Yeah.
A lot of them.
Dude, I was going to say, we were talking about the podcast and stuff. You sent me a clip of like that podcast where we both had like, I mean, for me, it was mostly me. I had like the worst hair day ever. It was just like in front of my eyes. And it's funny because like, I remember like not even that long ago, I probably would have been like freaking out like, oh my God, we need to take that down. But I just thought it was fucking hilarious. I was like, that's hilarious. Like, and I don't care at all.
What was that clip? It was like talking about people eating in their car.
Yeah.
Oh, that was so funny.
That was funny. And
you were like taking it really seriously too.
I forget what I even said, but yeah, it's just funny, dude. It's just nice when you can just laugh at yourself. You're like,
yeah, there's so many moments in the podcast that I look back on and I'm just like, oh my gosh, dude. Like, I can't believe that's on the internet. But when the stuff like that happens, then you're just like, who cares? Like, no one gives a shit. It's like, I hear like a lot of artists that they're successful posting their music and stuff. Every once in a while, they'll post something and they'll just be like, I just have to like tell all the introverted artists out there that are like caring about looking dumb or like what people are going to say. They're just like, if you just don't give a shit, like, and you just post stuff, it's just going to go great for you. Like, as long as you just don't care. But that's the hard part, you know, it's hard to not care. But this is so much of a vulnerable experience. You're just like, let me just talk for an hour and a half every single week and be completely myself the entire time and not even lie and just tell like the truth. That is extremely difficult to do, but yeah, once you do it, you're like, yeah, why would I give a shit what I post? Like, no one cares. There's so much going on in the world. Like, you think anyone's gonna? Sure, you'll get a negative comment, but it's like, who gives a shit? Like, that person who comments negative stuff is literally like, you know, they haven't done literally anything with their lives most of the time. I would say like 99% of the time. So it's like, why do you care about their opinion? But we do sometimes, you know.
I love the ones we get sometimes, like, when are you going to stop yapping? Or like shit like that. Like, just stop. It's like,
you're not that important.
I know.
And I'm like, well, all right. I never said I was important. Yeah. Oh, you get a lot of like, this is peak coworker music on music ones. They're like, this is coworker music, because they're like, you know, the joke is like, it's that like your coworker is showing you their music at your job, and it's like, you know, cringy demo stuff, because they're like, yeah, I rap, dude. Like, and then that's like that's the burn apparently. It was like, I posted it for my EP. It's like all of these cinematic visuals, like all this crazy production, like songwriting. People are like, coworker music.
This sucks,
I'm like,
bro.
Your coworker wouldn't even have slightly the time in their schedule to do any of this stuff, which is hilarious.
Yeah.
You want to defend yourself. You're like, fuck you.
I know, but who fucking
But it's like,
cares?
who cares, you know?
I mean, I'm prepared for whatever happens with Farlight, because people are very critical.
Oh, it's going to get
movies.
destroyed. It's going to get destroyed.
But it's like, it's just like, I don't know, dude. It's like when you put yourself in a position where you really don't care and you're not precious about it, like you win, kind of, because no one can take that from you, you know? It's like,
yeah,
it's
and
different.
that's what's the killer of all dreams, is like,
yeah,
not wanting to fail, or you have to have the courage to be disliked. Like, people don't like it when people dislike them. Like, it's like a survival thing. Like, if someone says bad stuff about me, like, I'm getting kicked out of the tribe or whatever. And man, the courage to be disliked is like this. Like, if you can get over that, like, you can do anything you want. 'Cause like,
100%, yeah.
That's the, you know, people don't want to fail. They don't want to fall flat on their face. But if you can just be like, I'm okay with that, and also I'm okay with people hating me, like, you win, you know?
And I think part of that, like what I've been seeing, is like a lot of that depends on like how you feel about yourself. Like, you have to be comfortable with yourself. You got to,
yeah,
you know. And like I said, this has just massively been helping me, because I struggled with that pretty much my whole life. So it's like, I don't know. And that's the thing too. It's like, even with Farlight, it's like, we're not putting it out being like, we need people to like this. We think it's the absolute best thing in the world. It's like, we just had fun making it, you know?
Totally.
So yeah, it's just, I don't know. It's cool.
Yeah.
It's cool. And I obviously want people to like it, but at the same time, I know people will.
Some people will love it.
We had fun, yeah.
Yeah, some people will absolutely love it. It's like with anything, you know?
Yeah, 100%.
Like,
even like massive movies, like...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
People will shit on Nosferatu. They're like, this movie sucked. And I'm sitting there like, to me, I'm like, this is the most cinematic film I've basically ever seen in my entire life. Someone's like, yeah, it was freaking boring, dude. I hated it.
Just
and I'm
babies
like, all right.
eating popcorn. This sucks. That's so funny, dude.
And we all do it from time to time, you know?
Oh, yeah.
Sometimes a cringe pop song comes on and you're like, oh my God, this is the trash. But then somebody might love that artist. Mm-hmm. It's kind of funny. You ever like know a person, or like you like them as an artist already, and they put out a song, like, and it's kind of like something you normally wouldn't listen to, but you're like, you know what, this isn't bad. Like, I enjoy this. But then you think to yourself, if someone else just showed me this song and I didn't know who that artist was, I would probably hate it. I would be like, this is trash. You know what I mean? So I think that's part of it too. It's like, when you know the people creating the thing, it helps the enjoyment of it. It's like, everyone that's going to watch Farlight who listens to the podcast, like, they're going to just know everything that went on. So for them to just like objectively like throw tomatoes, probably not likely. They'll just be like, yeah, you know, like, yeah, I get it. It was your first film, you know, it was cool. Or they'll love it, you know, right? They could totally love it. But I just feel like that's a big part of it too. It's easy to throw the anonymous tomato. Yeah,
100%. And I honestly, dude, like, objectively, and like, and I'm not just saying this because like we made it. Like I have a pretty big awareness. I do think for an independent movie at the scale we made it, it is very good.
For
like
the budget, it's pretty solid.
Yeah, and for a couple people, it's and that's just an awareness.
For the crew, it's extremely good for the crew. And it's not easy. It's just not easy to make it something appealing to everybody, but that's not the goal. You just want to make what you like.
Yep.
And I was talking to my friend about this with songwriting. It's like, you can't know if people are going to like a song you make. Like, if you like the song, there's a good chance that a bunch of people out there will enjoy it. And that's all you can ever do, and that gives you freedom too. And it's like you've said this when you would do studio sessions with bigger artists or songwriters, people are always wanting to change stuff. And I think there can be a healthy openness that you can have around your art. But also when people are like, no, you need to like cut the song down from 7 minutes to like 3 minutes. That's like ridiculous, like you were saying. Because like Between the Roses, that song is just, it's like a masterpiece in my opinion in like the emo acoustic world. Like that's a masterpiece in that genre.
Thanks,
it truly is. It's incredible. It's an incredible song. And it's like if anyone were to have some input on that, like I guarantee it would have just been net worse.
Yeah, 100%. And that's like is a weird thing to me is that I've worked with a lot of people and it seems like the common thread is like the instinct is we have to change something. Like you have to find something to change. Like it's never can just be good enough, right? And I was like, fuck that, dude. Like that makes no sense to me. And I think that's where a lot of artists go wrong. Sometimes, it just depends what you're going for, right? And it's like if you find people that just help you take what you have and make it better, that's different.
Yeah.
But the instinct is always like, no, the hook should be like these notes and this and this. It's like, that's not what I wrote though, right? Like that's not what came through. And sometimes you find a better thing, discover something better, but.
Yeah, you should be extremely open, I think. But if the suggestion is objectively like to your heart not right, then that's fine to just be like, no, like we're not doing that. But, it's with filming, like, I think it was Ben Affleck. He kind of talked about this. I don't know if it was like Theo Vaughn's podcast or something, but he was like, literally like the first screening or the first edit of any movie, you just like, you hate it. It just sucks, if you're not the one editing it, right? No matter what, you're always going to dislike it, but things take time and it's like, you got to reflect back on it. A song is pretty quick, it's like pretty quick. I think with a film, there's so much that can go into it because it sound like we were talking about this, like, you sent a rough cut of one of the films with no color and no official sound. And to me, I was like, well, every shot we got looked great, but it's like, man, it's just hard to make it feel like it's legit. And then you add then you do one scene with perfect color and sound and you're like, oh my God, this sounds like this is amazing. You know what I mean?
That's the hard thing, dude, is like, I always want to send stuff to people, but it's like, even if you imagine it, you imagine past it. Like even if I send it to you or to Josh or Micah, like it's never going to, you're always going to think it's like not good because you're just not experiencing it, right? So it's always hard.
Hedgemill, the only thing you ever sent was it was pretty much done.
Yeah.
Like obviously we made some slight changes, but to me, I was blown away by that. And it's like, I think it does make sense to send stuff as done as you can possibly do it without like, having to like seal in an idea, hermetically seal something. But it's like with songs, people always want me to like, oh, just send me a demo you're working on. I'm like, no, I can't. Like, I got to send you the basic final mix. That's just how I work. Like, I can't, like, you send me stuff that you whip up day of because you somehow just can perform like amazing immediately. For me, it takes like a million takes. And maybe part of that is because I don't monitor myself properly. Like I do not monitor myself hardly at all.
Gotta do it. Yeah.
Yeah, you really have to. I got to learn how to do that better. But yeah, I can't do it. I have to send someone pretty much the finished product. Like I never send scratch vocals. I'm just like too insecure about that because my scratch vocals just sound so shitty. So I feel like with the film stuff, I don't know. I mean, most of us know, as long as you say like, hey, this is just doesn't have this stuff, we don't really like. I still thought like the thing you sent, the last showing, sent a rough without any sound or color, and I thought it was still cool to watch. Like I liked it. Yeah. And then it was a million times better when you edited scenes with those things.
I know. Yeah.
You just have to know that, you know.
Yeah, you do. It's weird with Farlight because I've been editing parts of it for like 2 years. Like it's just been an ongoing edit but it's actually kind of good because there's so much time and so much space. I think I would much prefer to do everything in like a week and then it's done, right? But it's just interesting. But I know like subconsciously I'm not gonna ever do the final edit until we have everything shot, like all the footage. Like that's gonna be the time where I go. You know, but editing is hard, dude. It's hard because you can shape infinite stories with how you cut stuff and how you play stuff, and it's like you just have to somehow like figure out what's the best, and you just have to like fully trust. It's so hard, dude.
And that's why storyboarding as much as you can is really nice, because then you can kind of make a rough edit like just with that, but then you have to be like, how does this actually feel? I feel like that's probably the best. Dude, music videos, if I don't storyboard a music video, it is a nightmare to try to figure out what should go where. Like, when should I put this scene and then switch to what scene should I switch to? And I usually try to be like maybe like wide, close, medium, like wide, close. Like I try to like alternate depth. It's so hard though. It's like it's better if you kind of know
in your videos. I was always the exact opposite. Never storyboarded, but I would need to now. Like,
well,
100%.
I don't, but I'm just saying if I did, it would be amazing, you know?
Oh, you don't storyboard?
Some stuff I do. Some stuff.
Okay, gotcha.
But I think my music video for Fate, I think I did kind of storyboard like the sequences, but not like little tiny things.
Yeah.
But it's just like, Bones Rooted Under Cloudy Water. I remember that one. It was all random. It was a nightmare to edit that thing. Like I could not figure out what should go where. And
same with the one we did. That was all random.
Oh, the heaviest
basically
weight. That was our roughest music video.
That was so bad, dude. I was so ready.
Sometimes you just got to put out those. Like you can't just be like, oh, everything's got to be unbelievably amazing. It's like people will enjoy it. I'm sure that people out there enjoyed that music video. Or it was a lyric video, not a music video. But
yeah, technically, it wasn't good enough to be called a music video.
you just massively wipe out immediately before we start filming.
Oh yeah. Oh, that was so painful, dude. I forget what happened. It's like slipped down a hill.
You basically were on your back and your leg was tucked under your body.
So like, holy hell, dude! And I was already so beat down that whole day. And I was like, all right, just use the pain.
You just immediately stood up and you're like, oh, I might have broke my foot. You're like, anyways, can you hold this here, put this focal length, and you're just sitting there. You have like mud smeared on your face. You're just like in so much pain. We're getting bit by mosquitoes. It starts to rain. And we're just like, what are we doing? Like, why did we try to do this?
Bug fogger won't fire up.
Oh, nothing worked. Yeah, that was one of that had to be the most miserable experience.
All right, let's there's a mirror. Let's carry a mirror. All right.
Yeah.
That looks good. Yeah, it's
with
funny.
Chains. I actually like those. That scene.
The chains.
That was a cool. I like the narrative part of that. That was cool.
But again, that was just me and you, like all by yourself.
Oh yeah, and my hair was fucked in that video. It was fucked. That was a horrible hair day. It's like, and that kind of sucks because you're like, now that's sealed forever that I had this terrible hair day, and it's just right there on the screen forever. Same thing happened to me with I Left My Heart Behind. I literally went to LA to film in Santa Monica, Beverly Hills, all these places, because I like lived there for a number of years, and it was like about that, you know, it was about my experience there, and I just had a terrible hair day. I didn't have somebody to check my hair. It was just me and Josh. Like normally we have some people on set, like I get set people that can help out, you know, friends and family, whatever. No one, absolutely no one to check my hair. Worst possible scenario. Just fucked.
Yeah, Josh, the hair check.
Josh, now I've trained Josh on my hair where I'm like, dude,
you
need to look out for my hair big time. Like you need to. And he's done it. He's helped out now, and he's great at it.
Dude, I remember that when I think it was Old Dog, I would ask like about my hair, and he would actually be like, oh, you should move a piece there. I was like, wow, he actually gives a shit. Like, you know?
Totally. Well, and it's like, it's just like a composition. Your head's like a composition. If something's off, just move something a little bit. It's like, okay, that looks good. That's right.
It's just fucking,
you know?
Dude, I think I told...
It's all important though, because you don't want something to be distracting on screen. Like if you have, your hair's looking weird, it's distracting, you know?
I will say, a cup of cheer, man. I did a fucked up haircut by accident. It was like a weird triangle accidentally out of my bangs. It's like, nothing I can do, so just is what it is. But
you play the wonkiest guy on earth, though,
bro. That's one of those things that I'm like, I don't know. I don't think about it too much because I'm like, how do you process that? Like if you see that, you know, and then because it is pretty bizarre. But I mean, I did what Jake wanted me to, so.
Oh, it was a bizarre character.
Yeah,
it was.
That is very strange.
Very strange character. I remember seeing that, but at the same time, it's fun. Like it really is a funny movie. It really is. And I thought you looked good in it. I was like, yeah, you're looking. I mean, you're fit as heck on it. And
I was decently fit at that point.
You were looking sharp as ass.
Sharp as ass. I remember the first night, dude. Like. My face was like beet red for some reason. And they didn't put any makeup on me. And I was sitting there like, I was kind of like, okay, when's the makeup coming?
Yeah.
And then we were like, all right, we're about to go. I'm like, oh God, like, all right.
Really? They didn't have anybody on you?
They had a makeup person, but I was just not really an important character, right? So.
Right.
Yeah, it's funny.
I've had, I remember with extra work, they usually do makeup for extras too.
They do,
I've gotten that. Yeah, you gotten that too.
Yeah, which is awesome. I remember for the boys, they covered all my tattoos, like makeup, which took a long time. Yeah, dude.
Because you were in a short sleeve in that security guard or whatever.
Yeah, slick back hair.
Yeah, I think they put eyeliner on me.
Yep.
For that punk scene and stuff.
I gotta watch that movie.
That's right. Yeah, House of Tomorrow.
Do you see yourself in it?
Oh yeah, a ton in the mosh pit. Yeah,
that's cool. Yeah,
I accidentally pushed Asa Butterfield in that scene. Not like it didn't make the cut, obviously, and I was terrified. I was so terrified that he got hurt because I would have been like screwed if that would have happened. But
what's the guy's name?
Asa Butterfield. Great name. See if you recognize him. And then Alex.
Dude, he
Wolf.
looks exactly like my cousin. What the fuck? He does. I don't know.
It probably is your cousin.
Yeah, it could be, dude.
Nah, he's from like Europe or something, I think. Yeah, he was in like Ender's Game, Boy in the Striped Pajamas, Space Between Us.
That's cool.
Sex Education, I think he's in that one. That show, I haven't seen it, but yeah, he's in a lot of stuff. And then Alex Wolf from the Naked Brothers band. He was the other guy in the mosh pit.
How'd you feel watching Hereditary after meeting him?
Oh yeah, it's cool watching people that you've like interacted with face to face, and like you've just been like, yep, there they are right here.
Dude, it is cool.
I shoved them, like I shoved both of them because I was right behind them in the scene.
Yeah,
it's funny.
That happened to me recently. I was watching The Surrender. I think did I talk about it on the pod, that horror movie?
I don't think so.
That was a crazy horror movie, dude. And I was watching it, and it's got a girl or like a lady. Whatever, a person from the boys, and I remember she was on the stage next to me, and I didn't recognize her at all.
Yeah,
I didn't recognize really many people from that cast, like besides like the Lord of the Rings guy at the time. But then I realized like one of the girls, all these people, like I was right beside them, and then I was like looking them up later, and the one girl, she was in like True Detective as like one of the kids in the first season. I don't know if you ever seen that. No, amazing, one of my favorite shows. Yeah.
Yep.
And then that girl, oh God, that person, I don't know how old she is, like that lady, redhead lady was in that horror movie. And it is just cool. It's like, you see this experience and you're like, I was like next to that person at one point. That to me is just something fucking cool about it.
Oh yeah.
I'll never stop talking about it.
Billy in the urinal.
Billy in the urinal, dude. That was still fucking one of the trippiest. That was like what, dude, you know what?
Piss right next to Billy.
Yeah. And it was brutal because there was not that many extras and they gave us clothes to wear. And they gave me an insanely tight white shirt that like didn't even go down all the way. And I just felt so uncomfortable and like just, oh.
That's funny.
And it was like, yeah, it was so awkward, dude.
Yeah.
I think it was awkward for him as well. Dude, he probably assumed like,
yeah.
Oh God.
This guy.
Yeah.
Looks kind of metal. Like a metalhead. He probably loves me. No, I'm joking.
I just like take a little peek over.
Yeah. What are we working with here? No, I'm joking. Yeah. But no, it's funny because like that is I remember like when I worked in a bookstore in LA, and there'd always be celebrities in there. And I remember Elizabeth Berkley, I was helping her out with like checking out a book for her kid. She was like, yeah, my kid. I don't know if I told this story on the pod. It was kind of funny, but she was like, I was helping her find a book for her kid or whatever. And I didn't know who she was at the time, but I just kind of assumed everyone in there. It was this Beverly Hills. It was actually the Westfield Century City. Amazon Books was the store. They had like a brick and mortar randomly that one year I was there. Anyways, I was helping her out, and this lady comes up to her and she's like, oh my God, I recognize you. And then the girl I was helping was like, yes, I'm Elizabeth Berkley. I'm an actress. Nice to meet you. And then the lady that said that was like, no, it's not that. She's
That's
like,
funny.
I think my grandkid goes to your daughter's school.
That's awesome.
It was just funny because like she was like set up ready for like the celebrity moment and then totally rejected. But no, she was in like Saved by the Bell and so many movies. She was like really well-known actress, but so many people. David Blaine, he was checking out in Amazon, and I was like right next to him. I'm like, yep, hey, David Blaine. You know, the guy from awesome. Vacation with Ed Helms. You know, the son from Vacation.
I think so.
I was checking him out he was buying some books, and I had to do the sales pitch that they tell you, like, oh, do you want to sign up for Audible for free for 30 days? And it's like, this guy's got plenty of money. He doesn't have to sign up for a free trial. And I remember having to say it and just being like, God, why do I have to say this right now? This sucks. Yeah. Like, I know who this is. And the kid from It, too, I'd see him there all the time. He was always in the store, and he was the main awesome. Character in It. Jaden something.
Yeah.
But there was like infinite people. Jimmy Tatro. I mean, the list is just infinite. And it's really cool. Like, it's cool, but you get numb to it after a while. But it's just so cool when you see him in something. One time, Brian Callen was in Erewhons. He's one of Joe Rogan's friends, and I literally was like, I know that guy. I was like, do I personally know him? And like, I went up to him, I was like, oh, hey, how's it going? And then he like was like, hey, and then he walked by, and I was like, oh, I actually don't know who that is, like personally. Like, I just know him he's a comedian, you know. But I like thought that I personally knew him because I had recognized him from stuff. That's a weird thing that happens in LA too. You're like, have I met this person, or did I just recognize them from like a show? It happens all the time. It's kind of bizarre.
Yeah, dude. And it's funny when it happens to you as well. Like, it used to happen a lot more to me, but like just randomly, like at a gas station or at Walmart. And the last couple times it's happened, like it's just at Walmart or something, and you're not prepared and you're just greased out. And it's just, I remember you told me something recently that happened.
Costco, yeah.
Costco.
Yeah, I was at Costco. But hey, he was super nice guy. If you're
Didn't
listening.
You say like you had your earbuds in and you thought he was just telling you where to put the cart or something?
Yeah, for some reason I thought he was like just saying like, oh, I'll take the cart, and I was like, here you go, and then I gave him a thumbs up. But I think he was trying to ask like if, you know, if I was who he thought I was or whatever. I felt so bad. I treated him like an idiot. Like,
you always feel bad after, man.
And I was looking greasy as hell, but it happens though.
That does happen, man.
You just don't expect it to happen because it's not frequent enough. It's not like you're not a celebrity. There's certain people that recognize you. But
yep. Yeah, it's funny, man.
Hot topics.
I'm just waiting for. Hey,
that's a classic.
Are you from Amber Force podcast? I'm waiting for that.
I'm waiting for that one, yeah. Only recognize you from the pod.
I always wanted it to happen for Cup of Cheer, but never did.
Yeah. It's never when you expect it to happen. It's always when you least expect it. Like I've been at random festivals, like town festivals where there's like 300 people there, and there'll be somebody like, oh, like my friend listens to your music. Like I got to send her a photo or whatever. It's like, well, I would never expect it, that random thing. Or like on vacation, like in LA, I'll get recognized more than in Minnesota, which is weird. It's like, I don't know how that works.
Yeah.
But it is bizarre because you're never prepared and you always feel like an idiot.
Yep.
You're like, oh no, they found me out. I'm just a normal human.
Yep. Just a greasy little guy.
Just a greasy little man.
Buying some onions.
Yeah. Nothing better.
No, dude.
I am a massive onion man.
I'm having some tonight for sure.
That's good. Yeah, I'm going to break my 48-hour fast here when we're done. Probably the hungriest I've been at the start of a podcast. But this thing...
There you go.
Fixed me up. Yeah. Maybe not in the best way. I broke my fast with this. Yeah, 110 calories.
Damn.
Ingredients included organic coconut water, organic watermelon juice, water, and carbon dioxide.
Perfect.
Any recommendations? Drop them in the comments.
Drop them.
Drink recommendations. We'll start off the pod with a little drink review.
Yeah.
Trying to get some like regular little.
We just need something, guys. You know.
We need something to hold it together.
We know you're listening, and we just want you to be part of it.
Exactly.
No, we just need ideas, because I'm surprised how well this one went, though. Because but that always happens. I'm like, oh God, and then boom, something happens, and we just.
I was like nervous before we started for like some other reason, and I was like all flustered, and I was starving, and I was like, this is gonna go so badly, and then it's like, yep, it's fine.
Yet again. Here we are at the end.
We pulled it off.
Yep. Well, should we? I assume wrap her up.
Random pest control guy stopped at my door right before we started. Yeah, let's wrap it up.
That's awesome. All right.
First no sock podcast in the books, boys.
There she is. No beanie, no socks.
Rare as
Love
ass.
that. It is. It really is. All right, everyone. Thank you for watching and listening. We appreciate it. You know that. Yeah. You know that, right? You know that. We'll see you next time. We'll catch you next time. And we'll catch you in the next one.
Catch you in the next one. Stay grease.
Bye.
Gotta rock one like crazy.